Hi, this is Anita coming back to you with another video, aka Global Granny. I am still in Medellin, Colombia. So, would I retire here? That's the question that we'll talk about today. I will give you the pros and cons of retiring in a place like Medellin, Colombia. I know it has that reputation, the passport bros are here, but there's a whole nother side to Medellin that I would like for you to consider. Check out that I have actually considered and checked out. I'm in just south of Medellin, quote unquote, proper, in a suburb called Envigado. Am I a 10-minute walk or a 20-minute walk? I guess if I was walking, I could walk to Santa Fe Mall in about 20 minutes. And I am the kind of person that would walk to a mall because I enjoy walking. So, my criteria for a place that I would live in is walkability and weather. Those two things are absolutely more important than a lot of things because if it's too hot or too cold, I can't walk. And I want to be able to walk and get the fresh air that I would get by being outside. And a lot of people talk about places in the US, for example, it's very car centric. We can get somewhere in 10 minutes, 15 minutes, 20 minutes. I'm okay with 10, 15 minutes getting somewhere walking. That's my preferred method of transportation. The other interesting thing about Medellin, Colombia, is they actually have a train. Now, I was on the train, the windows don't open, and there's no air conditioning. Come on now, come on now. I know that, quote unquote, this is the land of eternal spring, but besides the doors opening every stop, I need the windows to be open. Somebody need to call somebody and tell somebody it's a little warm in there. There's some necessities that I have to have here, travel necessities that we'll talk about in a different video, which is kind of interesting. Since I've been traveling around, they become very essential for me. But back to what I retired in Medellin, Colombia. It does have good transportation. It has inexpensive Uber. And if you use the Uber app, I've been using it for a while now. You can actually do the Uber car or they will have Uber taxi, which was kind of interesting. So I choose taxi because there's way more taxis running around than there are, people's personal cars. And I look at it as maybe I'm giving more back to the taxi drivers because I normally would not do a taxi drive ever because of the meter situation and you got to negotiate the stuff like that. And I don't do none of that. But I will choose you if you're on a app with called Uber, or I think there's an app called Cabify. I haven't used it here yet. Didi is here. You can also use it. The cabbies have been very, very friendly. I've actually gotten a Spanish lesson in a cab in Medellin, Colombia, of course. The people are very, very, very friendly and accommodating. When I am in the grocery store and I get tongue tied on trying to answer the question or ask a question, and I let them know in my cave woman toddler Spanish that if you speak slower, sometimes I can understand you. And they always come back with tranquila. It's so nice because they don't make you feel like you're rushed to give them an answer or you're rushed in whatever you're asking for. They just tranquila, take your time. And when I'm trying to communicate things about where I am and who I am and why am I here, also tranquila, because I do try to speak to the person in Spanish. Like one of the cab drivers said to me, when you're in Colombia, you speak Spanish. When you're in the United States, you speak English. And I totally agree. I was definitely trying to speak Spanish. And he was giving me expressions that I'd not ever heard of as a greeting, as a way you can greet somebody, kind of like a he's a young guy, hip, cool, what happened? I ain't trying to be hip or cool, baby. I'm just trying to say hello. I'm trying to be polite. I'm trying to ask a question. I'm trying to buy food. I'm trying to participate in this wonderful coffee culture that you have here. And the few words I know how to ask for leche almendra or soya because I don't do cow's milk. It has to be almond milk or soy milk in my cappuccino. So I know how to ask for that. And they either have it or they don't. And a lot of places they actually do have it. So it's nice that I can actually sit down, have a nice cup of coffee because I have embraced the coffee culture here because they will warm my almond croissant and they will warm my cookie. So I like that. And what's interesting though, they must warm the milk because it doesn't make the milk or the coffee. It doesn't make the coffee cold when they add milk. So they must be warming it. Inquiring minds want to know. Okay, so I talked about the weather. I got my notes here so I don't get too far off. I talked about the walkability. It's very walkable here in Medellin. What will fool you though is the inclines. There, it's hilly where I am in Envigado. I think Laureles is flat. Stayed in Laureles 2 years ago when I first visited Colombia. I don't remember these inclines and me going up and down hills and feeling winded. I don't remember none of that. And then when I went back on the bus just to go to one of my favorite places, it was flat. And I'm walking and I'm thinking, it's flat. Okay, it's flat. It's flat. So I confirmed. Laureles is flat. So if you decide to come here and you want flat versus hilly, then Laureles is your place. I don't know about Sabaneta. I was there for a last year. They had a Navidad. They had a Christmas celebrate. I've been this park. It's a lot of lights, beautiful, beautiful, and I think it was flat too. There's a coffee culture, so if you like coffee, it's great. I talked about the transportation, the shopping. The malls here are very large, generally 3 to 4 levels. And on the top level, it's really interesting. It seems to be most of the food courts are on one level. And up there also was in both places, both malls that I went to. I went to El Tesoro Mall in El Poblado, and I went to La Viva Mall here in Envigado. And they both had this one thing in common, a place for children to play. And the one El Tesoro actually had a playground, or like, what do you call it? Amusement park. And I think they have that at Viva too, has amusement park. In Santa Fe, I did not notice that, but I didn't really go through the mall. I just took it as a rest stop because your girl did Ciclovia and we walked from Envigado to that mall in Santa Fe Mall in El Poblado. Let me tell you, I mentioned it were hills, right? I mentioned that there was an incline more than once, didn't I? Okay, then you understand. Woman of a particular age, you understand. There is one thing that would keep me from doing it, being here permanently past my 180 days that they gave me. When they stamped my visa, it was from July to October. Very happy about that. I couldn't stay all year round because after the 180 days they give you, I guess 183 to be exact, you start paying taxes. Now, there's places that I love. Spain's one of them. Colombia's another. They want to, take part of my Social Security. No, no. I love you, but I love me more. I love me more. And the money that I've worked very hard for. I'm not giving it to you. Now, I will come and play for 6 months, 3 months. I take my 180 days, pack my glad rags, and keep it moving. The other thing was healthcare. I think they do have good healthcare here. There are people that come here for specific types of surgeries. So I've seen specialized clinics here and there. So I'm guessing that it's inexpensive. And inexpensive is relative, but US things cost you an arm and a leg. I will, however, because Medellin is a city with I'll put it this way. It's a city that looks like it's in top of a forest. It looks like it was kind of a dropped into a forest. There's trees everywhere. It's green and it's beautiful. And you know why it's green? Because it rains almost every day. That's the one thing that people don't tell you. It rains almost every single day. And I'm not talking a little drizzle. I'm talking about rain, real rain, to the point where I'm going to stay inside until this weather clears up. Now, what I will do at the end of this video is show you some of the footage of the places, just my walk to the grocery store, because there's two different grocery stores. One is Euro and one is Mercado Madrid. Before I head to the mall, I usually stop off at one of the two places when I need stuff. So I'll show you footage at the end of this video there. So you get a feel for what it looks like. It is a forest. It's beautiful. It's beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. It's a forest. And you might like it. You might be okay with giving the government your money. But I will stay for 6 months out of the year when it's too hot or too cold. This is mild, temperate, and walkable. So I would stay for that time. So let me know, what do you think about it? And I will put some video footage in here so you can get a chance to see firsthand what it looks like. I'm going to the other grocery store a little further away. I think it's 3 blocks instead of 2 blocks. This one doesn't go down the hill as I walk through the neighborhood, but I made a comment when I did my Medellín versus Bogota video. Check out the apartments and check out where I came from. One of the things that's interesting that I said was here in Medellín or in Bogota, it seemed like the mountains were more distinct. And that's probably true because here there's so many trees that sometimes you can't even see the mountains because of all the trees. So that's one interesting difference. It's beautiful. Yes, it's prettier. It's greener. And it's sunnier and warmer. It rains every day. Don't let nobody tell you it doesn't, or almost every day. Rarely will you not get a day of rain, or maybe just overnight rain. But it's green and lush for a reason. See the little puddle from last night and from this morning? It rained. The mountains in the distance are beautiful. Clouds over top. It's just a beautiful day, but I don't go out without my umbrella because sometimes the sun is intense and I need it, and sometimes it's just really nice. So sometimes the sun is intense and then other times it's raining. I'll start working earlier in the morning just in case there's a difference other than the air being a fresher. Hopefully it won't rain on me. But if you look up, which I have a tendency to do now, you'll notice the leaves on the trees and you'll notice the mountains in the distance. Co-worker space, and from there a little wet. It's been raining. And today seems to be some kind of holiday. It's really pretty. And I think you can look along those stairs. Upstairs. I'm not sure what that is up there, but it's pretty amazing. Looks like a jungle. Imagine you can go in there. Co-working space. Too dark. Space, but I don't know. Depends on what you like. But here's another co-working space. I don't know if I know somebody that close to me. Space here. To me, this is a better co-working space because you got a couple of chairs, tables. You're a little further away from a lot of people. So, in my mind, this is a much better place to work. This is a really nice place to work because look at the views. Check it out. And like I said before, comparing the two cities, Medellín is definitely prettier, warmer, and rainier. You wouldn't think that, but it's a true statement. Back there. Clear up. Mountains are absolutely gorgeous. So anyway, this is Jardín de Co-worker Garden is what they call it. So anyway, I'll walk through. not sure what this is. I guess this is a playground. Ah, you don't have children. No, it's for me. To me, this is better. It's kind of cool, but small spaces, it's a little much for me. The interesting thing about this place is after the heavy rain, no mosquitoes. How about that?